Hello and welcome again to Off the Record podcast. This is episode 4. My name is Rejoice Nathan and I am your host. Well, this is the first recording in the year 2026. Happy New Year to you that is listening to me. Happy New Year to all of us. I'm so excited to be here at this time, at this moment, at this phase, at this season. It's a new year for all of us, and I'm so excited that you're listening to me. I'm so excited that we all have the grace, the gift of life, right? It hasn't been an easy journey, and for this year, I want to pray for everyone listening to me. I want to pray that everything aligns for you this year. I pray that there are queues of blessings waiting to hit you month after month, week after week, day after day, moment after moment. I pray that everything falls in place for you. Even the things that look like a disappointment, even the things that seem like it's not working, may it work in disguise. May it be a blessing in disguise for you. May God make everything work for you this year. In Jesus' name. Amen. Well, I don't know if I should apologize for making that prayer, but if you know me so well, you would know that prayer is one of my love languages. I love to pray for the people I love. Whether or not I tell you when I love you, I pray for you. Because I believe that prayer is the greatest gift that anybody can give or even receive. And I so much love it when people pray for me. I so much love it when people tell me they pray for me because of the way I see prayer, right? To me it seems like when you cannot solve someone's problem, but you know someone who can solve their problem, and then you not just recommend them to that person, you also go to this person and speak on their behalf. Say, this is my person, please solve this problem for this person. And even if normally the person wouldn't want to directly solve the problem because of the relationship you have with this person, the person would solve. There's a lot of persons right here, but what I'm trying to say is that God is my favorite. Well, not to brag, but I so love my relationship with God, and because of how close to Him I am, I pray about everything. I talk to Him about everything, and most of the times when it feels like I can't even give you anything, or I can't afford to solve or grant you the desires of your heart, and I know that God can, I talk to God for you. This is me trying to break down the reason why I love to. This is me trying to break down the reason why I see love as I see prayer as a love language. Well, I think at this point I should just get into what we have for the day. Anyways, like I was saying earlier, this is a new year. There's a lot of, it's not just a new year, it's a new everything, because usually January, New Year's like this, everybody's planning something new. Everybody have new plans. This new year, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'll be here. I'll be there. This new year, people are taking personal development seriously. People are getting all motivated. People are starting new ventures. People are taking their business, their studies seriously, their relationships seriously. Everybody's, doing one thing or the other. We're all running helter-skelter. Oh my God, I'm sorry for laughing, but adulthood, you humble you. Well, a lot of times the momentum is really usually high at this time of the year, and then when the month gets to when the year gets to the first quarter, and then we approach the first half, and then we go into the second half or the third quarter of the year, the momentum begins to drop. In some cases, though, In some cases, people who want to save a lot of money, they're all fighting to save their life first. And then those who want to gain weight or lose weight or eat healthy or look more healthy, they're like, well, now who their life they they do all those ones. Well, I'm not about to discourage anybody. I'm not about to look at the wrong side of, being all gassed up and motivated and stuff. But I'm more of on the side of reality. Everybody's running, but where are we going to? What's the point? Where are we all heading to? Like, I saw a post that someone made sometime, and they wrote, "We all came from heaven to make heaven." Wow. Hey. Really? Where are we going to? What's the end goal? What's the end point? At some point in my life, I've sat down to ask myself questions like, what's the point of it all? Where does all this lead to? To what point? Why do I have to try to prove myself to someone? Why do I even have to make an impact? Why do I have to be successful? For what reason? Aside from maybe being able to provide for myself or, do the things I want to do when I want to do them. Aside from that, what else? What other reason is there to do certain things that we do? We all pursue success. Is that the word? We all pursue success. We all pursue financial stability. We all pursue happiness. There are a lot of things that people are running after, aside from the bag. A lot of people are chasing the bag though, like if not everybody, because it looks like the bag has not that it looks like, the bag actually has the potential to purchase, greater percentage of every other thing that we are chasing, so we chase the bag. But then again, have we ever paused to ask ourselves what happens after we get this bag? Because anything that is chaseable, by chaseable I mean anything that is worth chasing, anything that is worth being chased, means that it's possible to get, yeah? And so on the other way, it's possible to get this bag. But what happens after we get the bag? It's a question I just want to drop here, but that is not even my point of concern. So mostly what I wanted to point out is the need for direction over speed, because speed is important, but we can all agree that as much as speed is important, direction is also very important, if not more important than speed, because heading towards the wrong direction on a full speed can end up very bad. It will be fast, but end up very bad. Meanwhile, heading towards the right direction with not so much speed would get you in the right direction. The only thing you need to take is time. Which brings me again to the conversation around time being one of the greatest assets that we have as human beings, most especially as young people. In fact, for everybody, whether young or old, time is one of the greatest assets we have. And whatever we do with our time, would always show up in the results that we eventually have. Right? Time is of essence, and because time is of essence, you don't want to do the wrong thing at the right time, or do the right thing at the wrong time. I don't know, whatever that means. But it will be better that you move in the right direction, but then there's a delay than to move in the wrong direction, but like speedily. And then again, I think this is one of the reasons why most people look for shortcuts to attaining their goals, attaining success, getting the bag, right? So a lot of young people put hands into stuff that is not even genuine or legal, just because we don't have that time waits for no one. So what you do matters as much as how you do it, because as they also say, the end will justify the means, right? I think the point of this whole thing is to point out the fact that whatever we do, we just need a clear direction. So yeah, I work in the marketing and advertising industry, and one of the things that guides like a strong campaign, one of the foundations of a strong campaign is strategy. And when I'm saying strategy, I'm talking research, I'm talking pulling out data, analyzing data, finding out what is working, what is not working, what others are doing, what others are not doing, what failed, what succeeded, what worked. All those things that might look like it's not what people would see at the end of the campaign or at the end of the whatever thing that goes out. People would not see all those research, all those numbers, all those reports that says that audience respond more to video content than text written content. People won't see that. What they would see is a very nice design or video or TVC, etc. Yeah. See what I did there? Silly me, don't mind me. So moving on, yeah. So the thing is, direction is what makes the work seamless. Sitting down and making a plan, crafting out a direction might look tedious. It is really tedious, actually. It's not easy sometimes because it's boring. It's just the boring part of the entire work. Making design, going out, having events, experiential, PR, whatever. They are all the beautiful parts. I'm talking about this way because obviously that's what I can relate to. I'm sorry, but yeah. Talking about all those ones are what people would see. Billboards, that's what you would see. Lampposts, that's what you would see. But the work that goes in, when people sit down and direct that, okay, from this time to this time, this is what we're going on. This is what we're going out. This is what we'll be doing. And this is why we are doing it. This is how we're announcing it. This is how we're not announcing it. That is what makes the campaign flow smoothly. That is what informs every other thing that everybody sees. So that boring part of sitting down and mapping out what you're doing, how you're doing it. I think this year, one of the things that, even though it might look like, oh, we always do this every time, we always do this every year. In fact, last year, to be honest, I didn't write shit down. I didn't write nothing down. I had no plan. Because I felt that every year I do this, and at the end of the year, I won't even achieve half of what I wanted to do. But along the line, I noticed that I didn't achieve it because somehow I wasn't really realistic with what I wanted and how I would achieve it, because there is a what and then there is a how. So you want this, how are you going to achieve it? First of all, if your goal or dream is realistic, you're going to also state out the how and make sure to follow the how. So by the time you don't achieve the goal, it's not because you made the goal at first, it is because you did not follow through with the how. Right? So one of the things that is guiding me this year, to be very honest, and to throw my leaning outside right now, is that I've been able to create like a map for myself for the entire year, what I'll be doing and how I'll be doing that. Not to sound pessimistic, but I might not even cover all of those things, but it will serve as a guide for me. This saying that if you aim for the stars, at least you will land on the moon, right? I think that's what they say. it would be like a guideline. Whatever I've mapped out, whatever I've said or written down will be like a guide for me throughout the year, throughout the month. Okay, month by month, quarter by quarter, week by week, how I'm going to do what I want to do to achieve what I want to achieve. So this is like a direction, sort of, right? So whatever you do, whether work, career, business, personal, relationships, personal development, your spiritual life, whatever it is, everything has a foundation, everything has a planning phase. But a lot of us skip that planning phase because it's the boring part, and a lot of us don't like doing the boring things. We just want to skip to, the exciting things, and somehow it causes fatigue, like exhaustion. It causes confusion because you don't even know what to hold on to. So sometimes when you're overwhelmed, if you look at your map and you know that you're supposed to be doing this, okay, I can leave this one for, I can push this one up, this is my priority for now, I'm going to focus on this. All of those things are like, okay, imagine traveling or going into a city you don't know without a map, without in fact, in this Lagos where I live, people will direct you. I'm sorry, but you're going to end up where you don't know. You'll be more lost. Inside your loss, you'll be lost and confused, right? So it's more important that you sit and create a map for your life at large. And it's always tricky trying to create a map for your life. And I'm saying this because I've noticed that the more we grow and get exposed to life, and the more growth kicks in, the more we have more exposure, a lot of things, would I say, change or advance our dreams, our goals and desires, kind of try to not be exactly what it used to be, right? It kind of changes. You kind of try to find a way to keep adjusting what you want to do. Like, it feels like clarity comes alongside growth and exposure. So the more you go into something, the more clearer it becomes, the more direct you become. But then again, that does not mean that you cannot say, oh, I want to what do I use for an instance now? I want to become a pilot between this age to this age. The truth is that at the end of the day, between that age, by the time you get closer to that age that you want to become a pilot, it might not even interest you anymore to become a pilot. But then again, it teaches you something about yourself. It teaches you something about the kind of things that interest you, the way you see yourself, the things that inform your decisions. You might even ask yourself, sit down and ask yourself questions someday, like, what even ever made me feel like I wanted to be a pilot in the first place, right? And then today I'm a nail technician. And I was just kidding. So a lot of things changes. Then you begin to figure out, what happened, how maybe you didn't get the course you wanted to do in school, how traveling opened up a side of you that you didn't know that existed, how you got more connected with one or two people, how you got, your interest in being in nail tech came about. All those things, it teaches you something about yourself. So what I'm trying to say is that we cannot, because of all this unforeseen outcome, not plan our life or what we really want to do with our life. I think it should be more reason why we have to plan our life, so that no matter bad as it bad, like no matter how it is, we can always sit down and ask ourselves questions, right? But if you don't know shit from the beginning, if you're just living in the will I say in the middle of nowhere, you can't hold yourself accountable for not achieving anything, because first of all, you have nothing to achieve. And sometimes it's also important to maybe not just have those dreams in your head, and sometimes write it down. Well, I think this one is a hack that works for me personally. when I write things down, years later, I go back to see those things and read those things. It feels like taking a picture and dumping in your gallery, and then years later you go back and look at those throwback and you're like, is this me? Is this me that year? It has been fun writing down my thoughts, because sometimes I go back to my book, I'm like, I ever said I wanted to be a medical doctor. Wow. What am I now? What am I now? So yeah, when you write those things down, your goals down, your dreams down, how you want to achieve them, someday, somehow, you're going to come across them again, and to remind you of, how you got to where you are from where you used to be, which is also an accountability in a kind of way. I think I've gone round and round the topic and come back again. I've kind of deviated and tried to catch myself, and don't mind me, please. That's how I think. That's how my thoughts go from here to there. Okay. Another thing I also wanted to talk about is this one is supposed to have it's supposed to be on an episode of its own. Peer pressure. A lot of things are happening in this time and age. There's pressure everywhere. Even today, I was sitting somewhere out and I overheard a girl telling her friend that, they were kind of having a conversation, and they were talking about how sometimes you feel like you're not doing well. Maybe you're still doing this thing at this age. Meanwhile, your mates are already past this particular phase. Man, if there's anything I've learned in life, one of those things, even though sometimes, to be very honest and fair, I struggle to really accept it, and some days I accept it, is that everybody's time is not the same. Everybody's pace is not the same. The same God that created cheetah created the tortoise. Yeah, I tell you, and for different reasons, people occupy different territories. We all have different territories that we have to occupy. We all have different roles that we have to play. And aside from all that, which is even sounding like motivation right now, practically, we don't have the same foundation. We don't have the same support. We don't have the same opportunities. We don't have the same, experiences. A lot of things that shape who we are or who we eventually become in this life. Like, there are a lot of them. Even siblings do not experience the same thing. Even siblings with the same parents do not experience the same kind of parents, do not experience the same kind of upbringing, the same kind of, their experiences are different because there are phases. If not for anything, the fact that the world is evolving, the earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun, right? So the fact that the earth is moving, the world is moving, time is changing, things are changing, right? It's a progressive kind of thing. Things are happening. Things are no longer the way it used to be. Only that alone is enough to tell you that, people have different experiences. For instance, there are people who were born at the period of maybe war, lack, where there are people who were born at the period of abundance. You're not going to tell me that these people would have the same opportunities and the same experiences. And all of these things shape who we are and how our life is designed to be. Like, God that made it that way knows what He's doing. Because think of it, all of us can't even have equal opportunities. The world will be boring. Yeah, the world will be a boring place to be if all of us are in the same level, in the same place, equal opportunities. What would be your what's it called? What would you look up to? What would be your motivation? What again will you look up to? You want to be like this, you want to do, you won't have nothing to compare yourself with. You won't have nothing to compare yourself with. It will just be a boring world. So I love the differences. I love the the uniqueness of everybody, and I think it's high time we embrace it. Even though sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, it can be very depressing, because even within ourselves we set a certain goal that we want to achieve within a certain time, because of course that's the way the system designed it for us. The system told us that at 25 you should have maybe finished school, being a graduate. You should have what else? Maybe served. If you served, you should have maybe gotten a job, or you should have maybe whatever. At 30, you should be married. All those things, the system, the system designed all those things for us to create order. But then people have their own personal timing too with God. Yeah, people have their own system with God. So what I would say in relative to that is to align yourself with your own purpose, with your God. Yeah, whether you're Christian, Muslim, whatever you believe in, find a way to align yourself. Even if you don't believe in God, shall find a way to align yourself with your inner self, or your God, or whatever you believe in. Find a way to understand your background, understand the things around you, understand your environment, understand your limitations, understand the opportunities that are available to you, understand the things that are like the skills that are like an advantage to you. Self-awareness too is inside this thing, because understanding of all of these things is what would help you not to do the comparison game, help you stay grounded, focused, and not to complain. Funny how it sounds easy to say than to do, but I pray we receive help. I pray we receive help. It's been a long talk already. I don't want to talk so much, so that the words moving fast, so that we can move on to the next thing, right? But I enjoyed having this conversation, and to be honest, if you allow me, I'm going to go on and on and on to talk and talk and talk, because I like talking. Alright, now that I've gotten to this point, I want to appreciate you again. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follow, for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the reviews. Well, I've gotten a lot of positive talks. Let's talk about it another day. At this juncture, we'll have to call it a day. I remain your host, Rejoice Nathan, and don't even dare to touch that dial. See you next time. Bye.